is Ben, Liam and Belle on Nova.
G'day there, podcaster.
Welcome to These Wenches, making me act up. A lot of medieval terms and themes in this pod because Ben went to Melbourne's premier medieval-themed theme park over the weekend, Kryal Castle, unsponsored. I think it's safe to say that it was an unsponsored bit. Because
well, it was unsponsored, but I will be totally honest on the podcast. The tickets I was given them.
I must admit, I thought that when
What?
when Belle said, "Oh, Ben bought his tickets," I was like, "Nah, I'm pretty sure he would have taken them from
Hey,
the Kryal."
when?
Last week.
Yeah, but like how?
Well,
'Cause
because
we
we
were
were
doing
talking about
Kryal
Kryal
on
Nile,
Nile.
and I was saying how much I wanted to go,
Yeah.
and then Tom, producer Tom, he heard, and he said, "I think that they are a sponsor of the station."
Oh.
And then he asked someone in sales, "Can he get tickets?" And they said yes, and then they got tickets for me to go on Sunday.
Couldn't even give them some money to go.
Well, they got a fair bit of promotion, I think.
Didn't you go to the free food and wine festival the weekend before?
They've got enough
That's
money.
the pot calling the kettle black.
They've got enough.
Well, hang on.
Well, then why
Kryal
don't-
Castle have an actual castle. Do you know how expensive those things
The
are?
amount I talked about Kryal Castle, I am going to
true,
actually
true,
increase, asses through the boom gates, whatever they call it, the drawbridge.
There'll be
Asses crossing that drawbridge will
Yeah.
be increased because of what I've done, Belle.
There'll
So
be
I've
more-
done more for Kryal Castle than you ever will.
Yes,
There'll be
yes.
more heads in the gallows this weekend, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
that's a better analogy.
Let's just say that. Anyway, enjoy the pod.
How about that earthquake, eh? I didn't feel it. Belle, did you feel it?
Nah.
Liam, did you feel it?
No, not at all, unfortunately.
The only person on our team that did feel it was Brody, producer Brody. So look, a lot of people are talking about it online, but a lot of people didn't feel it.
Tell you what, I bet Labyrinth and Tiny Temper rub their hands together every time there's a small earthquake somewhere around the world, so their song from 2007 gets some more royalties.
I don't know about you, Liam, but even though there was an earthquake and I was a bit scared, I feel better knowing Lara Croft for the Tomb Raiders in this morning. Belle in her leather jacket.
It's good to see Van Helsing's in for the show today, killing a few vampires before she got to work.
Do you not like my new coat?
I just didn't expect to see you in like a full-length trench coat this
It's
morning.
so comfy and it has the deepest pockets.
Hey, Belle, should we take the blue pill and play Creepin' by Metro Boomin, or should we take the red pill and go to the traffic? What do you think?
I hate you.
If it's time for a winter trip, jump on What If, the place to go for quick Aussie getaways.
Probably somewhere in the snow for me. I'm a big snow guy.
For accommodation, flights and more, book on the What If app.
What If it's Aussie for travel?
You are here with Ben, Liam, and Blade.
Okay. It was funny. It was funny before.
Oh, really
You can't
good.
just keep it going.
Really good stuff. Doctor Who's in this morning with a brown leather trench coat. Where'd you park the TARDIS? Can we go have a look at
Well,
it?
now I'm going to take it off because
No,
now I feel
no.
self-conscious.
Leave it on.
It's a cool
Leave
jacket.
it on.
though.
I got more jokes I want to do later.
It's 6:10. Hallelujah, it's 6:10.
The 610 quiz.
Blade is so good.
Blade.
Who's Blade?
Blade's
Wesley
awesome.
Snipes. It's great.
Snipes,
It's another vampire hunter movie. There's a theme between vampire hunters and trench coats.
Yeah. Anyway, let's kick into the quiz. Sam, good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good. I'm glad you're all safe because there was an earthquake last night in Melbourne. What's the scale called that measures earthquakes?
The Richter?
Yep, you've got it.
Okay.
The Melbourne City Council wants to make parts of the CBD car free. What street runs between Queen Street and Swanson Street? Do you know?
Ligon?
No, wrong sort of area there. Gemma joins us. Do you know what street runs between Queen Street and Swanson Street?
No.
I suppose if you don't go into the city a lot, it's kind of a tricky question.
It's also, I think, runs adjacent, we need to say.
Okay.
Because there's a lot that run between the two.
Does it ring any bells, Gemma, if we say adjacent to Queen Street and Swanson Street? And if we give you a clue that it was named after a famous royal who died recently?
Well, you got to follow the
Queen
Melbourne.
Street.
Not Queen Street, but I like where your head was at. Yeah, cool.
No,
No, this isn't going well. Cherie, do you know?
Oh, sorry, Cherie, go now.
King Street?
No.
So
King-
the Melbourne
king didn't
streets,
die?
it goes King, William,
Bloody
Queen,
hell.
who?
Daniel, do you know? She died?
Elizabeth?
That's the one.
Also got a lot of free phone lines now, so 13 24 10. Give us a buzz. We need people to play the 610 quiz this morning.
Daniel, it's the coldest May on record for many parts of Australia. What does the C stand for when looking at temperature?
Celsius?
That's the one. The Luna Drive-In in Dandenong is going to close down after 67 years. What movie musical has songs called Stranded at the Drive-In and Summer Nights?
I'm unsure. Sorry,
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
Oh.
No, it's only one of the biggest movies ever made. Anyway, Charlotte and Glenn are a Summer Nights. Tell me more. Tell me. What am I singing? What's that from?
Say it again, sorry. Say it again.
Summer Nights.
I thought
Summer
you were having a
Lovin'.
moment. I thought you were having a moment.
Danny Zuko. Olivia Newton-John. John Travolta.
What movie?
Is it Greece? No.
Yeah, it is Greece. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you not seen it?
I know I have, but I haven't watched it in a very long time.
Yeah,
that's
fair enough.
fair.
Fair enough.
That's fair.
Did you just wake up, Charlotte? You sound a bit tired.
I did just wake up.
Yeah.
I'm listening to you guys on the radio, and I was just like, I need to call up.
You thought, I'm really going to take charge of this situation. Sounds like they're having a shocker this morning. Okay, last question. Here we go. You're already in the draw to win $10,000 today, which would be a nice way to end things. Billie Eilish has gone on a big rant online, hitting out at people for dressing more feminine. Can you finish these lyrics?
I'm the bad guy.
The next one.
Yeah, well,
just
after that,
just
yeah,
the next bit, yep.
It's like a lyrical thing.
It's a lyrical one. You go back to sleep, Charlotte. We're going to move to Renee in Viewbank. Can you finish the lyrics for
I'm
us?
the bad guy.
You know what? I'm going to give it to
I
you.
think we're just gonna put a bullet in the 610 quiz this morning. Well, thanks, Renee. Appreciate your time. You get to pick the next song we play. So, would you like to hear this one?
Or do you want to hear a bit of Newton?
That one.
Bit of Newton. Newton
right.
Faulkner. No
All
worries.
right, Renee. Thank you very much. I feel like we were pretty on this morning,
Yeah.
and everybody else was kind of off.
Wake up. I feel like there was a few
We were-
Sunday sessions around
Yeah.
Melbourne. There might be a few dusty heads this morning.
We were having great fun making fun of Belle and her jacket.
Who?
Belle. Oh,
Oh,
sorry,
sorry.
Blade.
Yeah. Sorry, you're referring to Mad Eye Moody from the Harry Potter franchise. Sorry, yeah, I forgot who that was. Oh, the jacket's off, guys.
She
The
took
jacket's
it
off.
off.
Yeah, we're only 12 minutes into the show and the jacket's off.
Every time I close my eyes.
Hear ye, folks of Melbourne. I attended a place called Kryal Castle over the weekend. You may have heard of it, you may not have heard of it. It's a medieval theme park.
Now, Ben,
Well, they call it on the website. They call it a theme park.
is there rides?
I've been there, and there's no rides.
Okay, but I mean, it's sort of like, I suppose it's you're on the ride, you're on an adventure. You didn't go by yourself either, Ben. You
Took my
dragged
wife, Sam.
your
Yeah.
pregnant wife along.
Just before we get stuck into talking about Kryal, can I say I enjoyed Kryal Castle? I honestly think if you haven't been to Kryal Castle, you should go to experience it at least once.
And this isn't a paid thing. Like, the reason, like, Ben, you bought your tickets last week because we were talking about Kryal Castle on the show.
Yeah.
It enticed you. You bought your tickets.
Yeah.
Growing up in Melbourne, I've never been, but I'm very curious because I've driven past it multiple times on the way to Ballarat.
Yeah. So when you get there, it's like a proper castle with a drawbridge and a moat filled with fake crocodiles.
Is
Yeah.
there good good dragon parking and
There's
stuff?
there's great parking.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you get there, you show your ticket, and then you just basically you enter this medieval land.
Are they like, when you give the ticket?
Yeah.
Are they like, yeah, thanks, mate, jump in?
No,
Or they're like,
they
yeah.
kind of talk in the voice.
This way, fair maiden. They're punching. I like that. They're in character the whole time.
That was one of the things about Kryal Castle that I found amusing was all the workers who do an amazing job are in character.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, when in the hierarchy of characters, like when a knight would walk past, they would bow to said knight.
Really?
Peasants. Like, I like the idea of, like, after a long day, like, you've been a peasant for like 6 years. You're like, shit, Craig. Like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. Like, I've literally got, like, my back's killing me from bowing to the knights like 8 times a day. Like, all I want to do is be a knight at Kryal Castle. Like, you got to give me a promotion. Like, seriously, like at least a Christmas bonus or something like that.
Yeah.
The way I picture it is like in Shrek when they go to Lord
Yep.
Farquaad's place, and then there's like the little dancing music box and stuff. Like that's how I picture it. So when you
Yep.
walk in, is it like a huge courtyard with things to look at? Or...
Yeah, like it's kind of like, for me, it kind of breaks the fourth wall a bit because you can kind of see the highway like over the fence.
Oh.
But
You can hear the semis coming past.
but you imagine they're dragons.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it really
for sure.
is an immersive
Was
experience.
it, like, out of interest, was it busy?
It's busier than I thought it would be because I think the jousting championships were on.
Right,
Yeah.
because, like, are there, like, Kryal heads? Or are there people who have, like, Kryal
Memberships?
Kryal memberships?
You're talking about the Kryal Castle Crystal membership.
Yeah,
Gets
so-
you 10% off
Wow.
entry.
And so you get a complimentary mead and you get front row seats for the witch burn every Sunday.
The one thing they didn't have that I really wanted, they didn't have giant turkey legs, which I
Oh,
associate with medieval times.
You want like grease on the chin and you're eating the big turkey leg and you're
Yeah.
yeah.
They-
like Robert Baratheon
Oh.
in the early Game of Thrones episodes.
They did have a tavern, but I didn't go into the tavern because I was too scared there'd be no one in there because the door was shut.
I see.
Right.
Because the heater was on, so I didn't want to go in there and then get caught being the only person in the tavern.
if the doors are and they're like, well, howdy. Yeah, true. Like if then they start rolling into the bit, and then
Yeah.
you're like, oh man, like,
Yeah.
no, we're probably gonna stay for a bit now. Yeah,
So
for sure.
you went to see the jousting mainly because it was
Yeah.
the championships. How did
Yeah.
Sam, your wife, go? Like
Oh,
she's
look,
heavily
she-
pregnant, walking around all day at Kryal.
Yeah, look, it was more for me. It was a trip that was more for me. But the jousting, honestly, I was blown away by the ability that these jousters had. And they also had sword fighting. And I thought when they announced it, like, because they do like a PA announcement, like, yo, whatever, come over to the thing.
Yeah.
And so we ran over because I wanted to go see it. And they were wearing, like,
Sam
armor.
Kochie was wobbling over, going, quick, we're gonna miss out. This only happens every year.
And so they were wearing full armor and they had full metal swords. And I thought, oh, here we go, it's going to be a routine. They were smacking the shit out of each other.
going
They
for
were
it.
going for
routine
it. It's not a
still.
routine, Belle. It's not a routine.
It's real.
They were
They
smacking each other with
WWE'd
it.
you.
They were smacking each other with their swords.
Yeah, right.
I honestly think if you haven't been to Kryal Castle, you got to go. Belle, you would love it.
I do really want to go. I
Liam,
really want to go.
Not for you. I don't think you would dig it as
I
much.
don't know if I'm a Kryal guy. Just from some of the stuff you're saying, yeah.
I was just doing some Googling about Kryal Castle during that song, and I've learnt a couple of things about it that, Liam, I feel like you'll find this particularly interesting.
Right, okay.
Guess who's performed there? Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, really? Why? Like, what's the link?
Medieval Pumpkins, I don't know.
I don't know. Imagine, like, I think Smashing Pumpkins probably need to get a better promoter.
I would say that's
Guys,
cool.
it's going to be huge. Melbourne, they're so keen to see you. And they're like, awesome. Is it going to be the MCG, Rod Laver? There's so many great arenas. John Cain. We got you in Kryal Castle, guys. It's Melbourne's premier medieval theme park. Just spat out my rage.
Number 2.
Yeah.
So it was for sale about 10 years ago, give or take. It was for sale. It almost, through that sale, became a medieval-themed brothel.
Whoa. Well,
Imagine the wenches around that
yeah,
place.
is it less weird or more? You know what I mean?
True,
Like if
do you
it's
have
like,
to be there in
it's
theme?
less seedy.
Could you imagine getting caught cheating in a medieval brothel?
I'm sorry, my liege. I just don't know where these wenches. They drive me crazy. These wenches making me act up. You know when I get a skinful of mead, I'm out on the town.
Last one, and I actually saw this when I was there. You can get married at Kryal Castle.
Okay.
Bit of a long shot this morning. 13, 24, 10.
Here we go.
We cannot be Kryal FM this morning.
Did you have your wedding at Kryal Castle Or did you attend a wedding at Kryal
Yes,
Castle? Because it was
yes.
in a beautiful chapel. It was medieval themed chapel, but it was still a beautiful chapel. 13/24/10. Did you get married at Kryal Castle?
Beck in Clyde, you've been to a wedding at Kryal Castle.
Yeah.
So
I
whose wedding was it?
My brother's.
And was it medieval themed?
No, it was just a normal wedding. They just had the wedding there.
Hang on, you're telling me it wasn't a medieval wedding, but they had it
No.
at Melbourne's premier medieval themed venue?
Yeah.
Did they know someone for like discounted rates, or why did they choose that venue?
I have no idea. I never asked the
Just
question.
either lean in, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I'd be
Yeah.
so confused if there was people in character with like swords and stuff hanging around.
Well,
and
look-
you're just wearing a Tarakash suit.
Beck, you attended one, but our next guest, Amy in Sunbury, joins us now. Amy, this was your wedding at Kryal Castle.
Absolutely.
Now, was yours medieval themed?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
We got a real Kryal head on the
Love
line.
that.
Here we go. What was the catering? Was it a warthog with an apple in its mouth on a big table?
No, it was a buffet of beef that they brought out and roast potatoes and all that. It was beautiful.
Yeah, right.
So,
and
Amy, are you just really into medieval stuff, or where'd this come about?
No, it was more just wanting to get married at a castle.
Yeah, okay.
Kryal
And
will do that for
How
you.
long ago was the wedding?
Year 2000.
Year 2000.
Going back. So what is there anything that was there at the time that's no longer in Kryal Castle? Like, has it changed much over the last 23 years?
No, I think they have changed it a wee bit, but pretty much the same. It was-
And everyone was
Yeah.
like dressed up and stuff. Like,
Yeah, we got all our guests to come dressed up with, the cloaks and everything, and
Well,
they had a blast.
were they giving like frankincense and myrrh as
No.
presents? Or,
As the wife, Amy, what were you wearing?
Me, I
Yeah.
just had a beautiful off-white and sort of gold-trimmed dress.
Yep. And what about your partner? What were they wearing?
He had, what did he have? He had a medieval shirt with the riding pants and the sword and all that stuff.
Did you come in on a horse?
No.
Because I've seen in Ben put a video up on his Instagram. There is a very sad horse that looks like it's been there for
It's a little Shetland pony.
You could have come in
Yeah,
on
it's
that.
probably there.
Yeah, it's probably still there, yeah. Well, Amy, we appreciate you coming on this morning. Thank you very much.
Lovely. Thanks. Nice talking
No
to you
worries.
guys.
Thanks,
No
Amy.
worries. Do you reckon it's too late for me to move my wedding at the end of the year to Kryal Castle? I mean,
You should call your fiancée, Sarah, to say you've heard they do weddings and you want to move it.
fair maiden. Well, Melbourne, you're not crazy. It's officially the coldest May on record. Ben and Belle, the Bureau of Meteorology, hard word to say, have come out and confirmed it. And the mornings they've had an extra bit of sting lately, and it's if you're not like a sock sleeper, I'm not really a guy who sleeps in socks.
God, who can sleep in socks?
Because it's like too tight on your leg, on your calves. But then it's icy as soon as you hit the floor. Whew, ooh, you know about it. Especially if you're doing one of those little toilet runs late at night. The tiles will really get you. I've been rugging up a little bit more than usual. I'm sure everyone has. Was never a thermals guy. Bought some thermals recently and just like underneath the jumper.
What?
Enjoy those.
Are we going to the snow?
Well, I don't know. It's just super cold at the moment. Like,
What do you mean?
well, like if you're out like walking or whatever, like it's just so
It's
cold.
not that cold.
It is pretty cold.
It's like minus 10 degrees in
Yeah,
the
it's not that
Himalayas.
cold. I bought thermals when I went to Korea like 5 years ago, and that was -8.
Yeah. Well, it feels like -8 at the moment. It's 10, but it feels like -8. But here's my question for you. And I don't have high hopes considering that I got roasted over the thermals. I just want to know, like, is it lame to wear gloves?
Yes.
So you're saying yes, Ben? What do you
saying
think? What do you
What
think?
type
Bob?
of gloves?
Like kind of like snow gloves. like I sort of. So I went to the UK recently, and Sarah, my fiance, she was like, "I'm going to buy some gloves." I'm not wearing gloves. Like that's super lame. She's like, "I'll buy some." I didn't actually bring them. But now I've sort of got these gloves, and they're like good ones. They're from Amazon, but it's like you can use your phone still. They got, you can use your phone.
cool.
On. Yeah,
You're
now
you're a lot of things, but you're not a glove guy.
yeah. Well, on like say on the weekend, like walking the dog in the morning, it's like that extra bit chilly. I've
Just
been
put your hand in your
well,
pocket.
I've been wearing the gloves, but I think I know it's wrong because I get kind of like glove shame. Like if there's like There's like really fit people still running just in like shorts and a singlet, just caning it like next to the Yarra. And then when they walk past, I go, and I put them in my jacket. I like hide my little gloves. There's people literally like rowing in the morning.
Are they like? Is it like a sleek glove, or is it like a winter glove? Is it like you're in the mountains, or is it like you're in New York?
You know when people wear like those gangster sort of North Face jackets.
Yeah,
it's like that, but in gloves.
Whoa.
There's puff to it.
You've moved to Melbourne and you have to get gloves. That's
yeah,
ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Well, I get it. It's lame.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you wearing gloves? 13, 24, 10. Have you got some on now? You're on the train or whatever. You're on the way to work, and you're going like, I reckon I've seen some people like in Brunswick and stuff. They wear the fingerless gloves. You know, like they
10 years ago, they were in.
I don't think we'll get any calls.
Actually, Ben, you had fingerless gloves.
Yeah, but I was 18, Belle, and I didn't know what fashion was.
They're kind of like the in the movies when the homeless people like warming their hands by a bin. Yeah.
Hey, is Liam
bin fire,
is
you know what I'm talking
Liam alone in wearing gloves? 13, 24, 10. If you listening right now are also wearing gloves.
No, not driving gloves.
Take one of them off so you can call us.
Yeah.
13 24 10. I would love to speak to someone. We've actually got a few calls.
Well, as we said, it is the coldest May on record, and the colder it gets, the more gloves are going to be becoming an acceptable accessory. Helen joins us now. Are you wearing gloves? You're in the glove gang?
I am wearing gloves, yes.
Are you wearing it from a fashion point of view or a practicality point of view?
I'm wearing it purely because I work in a Bunnings and it is freezing and you need gloves.
Yeah,
It's
right.
just
So
too cold.
run us through the type of gloves.
It's a very fetching green fingerless glove with a Bunnings logo on it.
See-
So Bunnings supply the gloves.
Yes.
But you said fingerless there, so like that cannot not be for fashion, because if it's for warmth, you need the tips in.
Well, I need to work on a register, so I can't wear the proper
But
gloves.
now,
I can't type.
Helen, there's these gloves, right? And they've got like this
God.
rubber stuff, so it's like you can use your phone and that. And, like it's like the same as your hands, but it's a glove.
Somehow I don't think Bunnings will pay for that.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
right.
Yeah,
They'll stop it going past the high-tech glove.
Go to the union. Go to the union, I say. They need to start looking after you. And, you could even have it so you can sort of eat the sausage still and the whole works. Callum joins us. Are you a glove guy?
I sure am. I'm rocking the same Bunnings gloves as the girl before me.
Hang on, do you also work at Bunnings?
No, I used to work at Bunnings. I'm glad I don't work there anymore. But I grow plants, so I work at one of Victoria's wholesale nurseries.
Right.
Nurseries.
Yeah.
So it's freezing all the time, but also, like, they're fingerless, so I can smoke durries on the way to work.
Callum,
Ew, your gloves would stink.
That's awesome. I'm starting to see a bit of a trend here. I think it's not cool to wear gloves, but it's very cool to wear the Bunnings fingerless gloves. And I'm hoping our next caller, Mary from Mount Albert, also has these, and she might have a spare pair for me. Are you wearing gloves as well?
Absolutely. Not fingerless, though. I go the full glove and snow boots to walk the dog.
Snow boots.
Mary, how old are you?
I'm not going to say, but, old enough to know better and old enough not to care what people think. Because if I'm walking the dog through the wet grass of the park, get on the snow boots as well. Don't stop a glove.
Mary, can you talk us through the gloves that you're wearing? What do they look like?
Oh, they're your basic black knitted.
Yep.
Your cheapos.
Yeah.
But they keep the hand warm as you walk the dog.
Mary, are you pairing this all with a nice beanie?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I know the type.
I tell you what, Mary, invest in
You've seen me.
those gloves with the fingertip stuff, so you can use your phone still.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
what are you like advertising for them now? What is going on?
Literally,
What's up with you and these
everyone's
gloves?
acting like there's some sort of Steve Jobs like cyber thing where you can like crack. They're like $20. They're like actually pretty affordable.
What if you got gloves, right, and you had a glove and you stitched in 5 stylists into the fingers?
Yeah. Or it could have like other like I've got my thumb as like Belle's thumbprint, and then I can like unlock all your phones with my gloves.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Kochie has announced that he'll be leaving Sunrise in 2 weeks.
That's a big deal. He's been on for years.
21 years, almost. This October coming, it'll be 21 years. So they've actually also, Channel 7 have released some stats on Kochie's airtime. 16,000 hours of live TV he's done, 5,300 shows, and, quote, some 50,000 interviews, which is a large number.
That's a lot. Is he taking some time off to focus on his joke books? Because he released 6 of them.
Did he really?
Yeah, I've got one of them at home.
We used to have
Where do you think I get all the gear for the show?
We used to have a segment on this show where once a week Liam would read out one joke from the joke book.
Really?
Maybe we
Yeah.
should bring it back.
The bit sucked.
Well, I mean,
the bit
look,
was never
Yeah,
good.
that's
to be
fair.
honest, if Kochie's leaving and doesn't have anything else to do, we'll just get him in live and he can deliver them every week.
Kochie's joke of the week.
13/24/10. What did you see on Chapel Street? Saturday night, I was out in Chapel Street, went to Electric, and I was walking back to South Yarra Station up Chapel, and something happened to me that I think people would have gone, what the hell? And like many of us, have witnessed something very weird on Chapel Street.
It's where the freaks go out. I mean, you can go and have a good time, or you can have a good time, like when you're locking in for a long session.
Oh, yeah.
It's Chapel Street.
So I was walking up Chapel back towards South Yarra Station, and I got cut off by this guy just standing on the corner at the lights, and he came up to me and he was like, "Excuse me, I need to ask you a big favour." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I had my AirPods in, so I took them out, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, sure, what's up?"
Oh, God, Bill. This is the point where you have to run.
Yeah, I sort of, even if there's no music in the headphones, I sort of pretend there is and be like, "Oh, can't hear
Yeah,
you."
I'm not
Looking
good
right
at
through
that.
ya.
I can't do that. I feel rude. And if people I just thought maybe he's asking for directions or something. He goes, "Oh, I really want to hug you."
Oh, no.
And again, I was like,
That's not okay. Sorry.
So I let him.
No. You don't let the strange man hug you.
No.
Well, I just thought I'm surrounded by enough people.
Doesn't
that-
matter.
Not enough.
That-
Never enough.
Yeah, but he said it was for a social experiment.
Oh, shut up.
So then I thought, ooh, am I on like Pranked or something? Like,
Am I going to be on TikTok? Yeah, yeah.
Is someone going to come out? Nah, he just thanked me a lot, and then I walked away.
That's
and it was
how
all good.
long was it? Like grab and release, or was it a long embrace? I mean, there's different types of hugs. Was there any sniffing involved?
How long did it go for?
So like a 1-2 second hug, maybe.
Okay.
And it was like a cross arm that I had. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to go.
Did you hug him back?
Well, yeah, I didn't just stand there like a pencil. I
Oh.
I gave, yeah. But anyway, and then I crossed the road. I didn't need to cross the road, but I crossed the road so I could cross back later.
You know how you
But-
still see like these days, not as much, but it used to be the guy with like the free hugs, like holding
Yep.
the sign,
Yeah.
being like, "Yo, if you need," but that's okay because like the people who want a hug are
Yep.
approaching for the hug, or like if you need a hug today, like that's kind of nice.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not hugging that dude holding the sign. I'm walking the other way.
Yep.
But you can't go up to someone and just ask if you can hug them like a complete stranger.
Well, it turns out you can,
That's-
but only on
that's
Chapel
freakish.
Street. 13/24/10. What did you see on Chapel Street? I also witnessed once actually a whole breakup happen between a couple, which was kind of sad. But they were waiting at the tram stop, and I was waiting as well, and I just stood
And
next
then
to them while they broke
the
up.
guy in the relationship went over to you and said, "Can I have a hug?"
Yeah, and I hugged him back, of course. Social experiment. Why not?
Can I give you a kiss? I used to kiss my girlfriend, but now I don't have one anymore.
Can we start dating?
But like you said, there's wild stuff that happens on Chapel Street. If you were out there this weekend or something that stuck with you, 13/24/10. We've only got, 3 days left of 10K a day in May.
Yep, that's right. 3 days left, so you want to get involved. 13/24/10 is our number. Pick up your phone and give us a buzz. What did you see on Chapel Street?
Sarah joins us now. Tell us, what did you see on Chapel Street?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good.
So a few years ago, back in the good old revolver days, back in the smokers area, I was just hanging out and someone threw a live chicken, over the revolver back, like smoking wall fence area into the smokers. So it was so weird. The chicken's all fine. The bouncer caught it, but it was so weird for everyone to have to see that, chase a chicken around, catch it. It was,
Smoked chill.
strange.
I suppose half the room was like, geez, I need to go home. I'm tripping out here. And the other half was like, no, that's actually a chicken in the smokers there. Satina joins us now. 13/24/10. What did you see on Chapel Street?
Well, I saw the most interesting thing. Me and my daughter were riding on the bus. It was around about 12 midday. And there was, I think, a man and a woman sitting on, the woman sitting on top of him, obviously doing something that we don't want to be doing today.
Wow.
I literally had to turn my daughter away from it.
Oh, God.
And then, everyone just started recording on their phone. I'm
Oh,
not
of
sure if
course.
it's even on there today yet.
And that man actually asked that woman for a hug nearly 45 seconds earlier. And,
One thing led to another.
That's
As
it.
long as it was consensual.
Dan, Liam and Belle's Fast Five. Thanks to What If, it's Aussie for Trouble.
Good morning, Emily in Sunbury. Did you get much sleep last night, or did you wake up from that earthquake? I believe Sunbury was the epicentre.
Yeah, it was pretty loud. I woke my partner up because our dogs were barking, so it was pretty intense.
Well, hopefully you're still well rested because this is your moment, okay? Capture it, don't let
Okay.
it slip, okay? 30 seconds on the clock. We've got 5 questions. If you get them all right, you're scoring yourself $500. Just pass any that you don't know. Let's get into it.
3, 2, 1.
In the song, what does Eminem ask the real Slim Shady to do?
Please stand up.
Where on your body would you wear a fedora?
Your head.
What's the surname of the famous family in the Succession TV show?
I pass.
Which war twin captained the Australian cricket team?
Pass.
What key is between A and D on a standard keyboard?
E.
Oh, it was S, unfortunately. Steve Waugh. He's the captain of the Australian cricket team, or was. And, yeah, I mean, the last episode tonight, Season 4 Succession, the Roy family. Logan Roy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, well, Emily. Well, thanks anyway for playing. We do
Thank
have
you.
$500 up for grabs again tomorrow. But, of course, just for calling through, you are in the draw to win $10,000 with Nova's 10K Day, mate.
Awesome, thank you.
No worries, Emily.
It's one of those mornings where you wake up, you breathe in the cold Melbourne air and you go, geez, thank God I'm alive. Because it all could have ended last night at 11:40 p.m. There was an earthquake, ground zero being Sunbury. That was the epicentre. 3.8 on the Richter scale. So that's, it's kind of like nothing. That's a light breeze.
It's not much.
I've done farts bigger than that.
Ew.
But some people are claiming that they felt it, that it woke them up. I don't know how you went, Ben and Belle. For me, this morning, I woke up and I had texts from my fiance who was sleeping next to me, being like, "Oh my God, how crazy was that last night?" And I was like, "No, I was
Why
fine."
did she text you?
I suppose just to check I was alive after the the earthquake. But I'm like, "How did you?" I didn't feel it. I was right next
If
to you.
she
I did
woke
not
up
feel
to
it.
why is she texting you this morning about it? Shouldn't she have woken you up in the moment?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nah.
I don't know.
I also did not feel it. I worry sometimes that someone could break into my house and I wouldn't know because I feel like I'm a heavy sleeper.
Yeah, I didn't feel it either. I just woke up this morning and saw all the headlines being like, earthquake.
But none of us felt it, but people obviously did feel it because it is everywhere online. Like everyone's talking about the earthquake.
Some of the videos as well that I saw from people filming stuff and their front door cameras and everything shaking and going crazy.
Yeah, but
It looked hectic.
People, that's them shaking their iPhone. Doing their face, going, "Oh my God, guys, this is insane." Did you experience it?
What time did it happen?
11:40 p.m. So, I mean, you would hope on a school night, everyone's got work this morning. Most people should have been in bed, but maybe it woke you. It was that violent. 13:24:10 Melbourne. Did you feel the earthquake last night? We want to hear what happened at your joint. Annette, my goodness, you are calling from Ground Zero right now in Sunbury. Did you want to mark yourself as safe on Nova 100 this morning?
Yes, I'm safe.
Thank
Okay,
God.
good.
Thank God.
Now, did it wake you up? Were you already awake? Talk us through what happened.
I was actually asleep and it woke me up and I heard a rattling noise and felt it.
Mm-hmm.
And then my phone rang and it was my daughter who also lives in Sunbury and she actually was awake outside and felt it happen. So she rang me. At the same time, my other daughter who I live with came in and she's like, she felt it as well, but she was awake. But
Yeah.
she actually heard it.
Whoa. Do you know why your daughter was outside at 11:40 p.m.?
Because she has 2 young children and her and her partner. It's the only time they get alone.
I have to go outside.
Right.
Interesting.
Quick durry, maybe, out the back.
Or something else.
That's what caused the earthquake.
Shane in Mickleham joins us now. You felt the earthquake.
Yeah, we're in the middle of labour at the Northern Hospital.
What?
It was 2 midwives, myself and the missus, and half a head out of the...
Oh my God!
Yep.
So
Did
have
it
you?
assist or?
Yeah. So you have now got a child in your family as of last night.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh,
Shane,
congratulations!
a little Richter.
Yeah, number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Did you give it Did you give it an earthquake themed name, or have you not come up with a name yet? Or
Archie.
Archie. Oh, beautiful. Well, congratulations,
Are you
Shane.
still in the hospital listening to the radio, or are you at home?
No, I'm driving into work now.
Oh, mate, there's no rest for you,
His third kid. He's
Yeah.
not his first rodeo, but that's a cool story that your child was born during an earthquake.
Especially if your child grows up to be some famous sports star or something. You could imagine in the autobiography it'd be like, I was born at 11:40 and the world shook, and the world shook again when I raised the bat. In the
Maybe
MCG.
Shane can call their newborn Tiny Temper.
That would be nice. Michael in Maidstone, did you feel the earthquake?
Yeah, I was actually on the toilet.
Dear me. Did you, for a second, did you think, Christ? What?
Yeah, look,
do you know what I mean?
it did happen. It did. I, the first one hit, it was like a little bump at first, and I was like, I wasn't too sure. I kind of looked around.
Yeah.
And then I felt like a big second hit, and I really just, I thought a car really went through my house.
Oh my God,
And
seriously?
Yeah, it was that big, and I jumped off the toilet. It hadn't finished yet. Just ran down the hallway. Girlfriend was in the bedroom screaming. I'm just like, a bit dramatic, but anyway, what's going on?
You probably could get your pants down halfway through.
Yeah, pants down, running down the hallway. It's all good. What's going on? Quickly check out what's going on. So I ran out. I pulled my pants up and went out the front of the door, and a few neighbours on the street, car alarms going off and whatnot. But
wow!
Oh my God, and that's
yeah,
like, you never know like when it's going to strike, and like literally, if that was the moment the world was ending, you would die running down a hallway with half a nug. Sort of,
Liam.
you know what I mean? Like a bad state. And we're joined now by great mate Toni Lodge. My goodness, it's so good to see you here this morning. We've been checking in with all our loved ones because of obviously the big 3.8 Richter scale earthquake in Sunbury last night at 11:40. Did you feel it?
No, read about it this morning on Instagram.
So you slept through it?
Slept right through it, and I'm really hoping that no one's going to judge me.
No, we all did.
We all did as well.
We all did, but I think also because we're morning people, we're all in bed, whereas, normal people would probably be up still.
Are you normally a heavy sleeper?
I am. I reckon I can sleep through anything.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, there was this really bad mini tornado that went through the suburb that I lived in, and I grew up in a quite a bushy suburb. What did you say?
In Kansas.
It was a Wizard of Oz joke.
Yeah,
the timing was wrong.
Helen
The reference
Hunt
is
was
old. I'm
there,
sorry. I
and-
don't know what I was thinking.
Imagine if then I went on to say that there was a death after this. Yeah, see?
And the woman
Luckily-
in your neighbourhood's little witch shoes curled
She
up.
curled up.
Yeah.
And there was this massive tree that fell on our car and our house.
Yeah, wow.
And knocked down the front of our house. And my dad had to come and get me and be like, Toni, get up. Something terrible has happened.
Yeah, wow.
And I had no idea. So, yeah, it's not my first time.
I remember, I've told this story before, but when Ben and I used to work for Triple J, we had in our first year, we had a meeting with the Nova bosses, and it was kind of the start of us sort of moving over here, and it was like the boss and the boss's boss. It was it's the first time we'd ever had any sort of attention from another radio station. So I was like, I'll go home and have a nap after the show just to, make
Freshen
sure
up.
Yeah, that's it. Slept through 3 alarms. I had about 8 missed calls from Ben, who was at the front of my house, and so then he rocked up, by himself. And then they didn't call us back for another 2 years.
He slept through the biggest meeting in his
literally,
life.
literally. And I woke up really fresh, mind you, but about 9:45 I was like, oh no! I missed it 4 hours.
You know what? I kind of like doing this. 13, 24, 10. What did you sleep through? Maybe it was a big job opportunity. Maybe it was a tornado. 13, 24, 10 is our number. What did you sleep through? 13, 24, 10.
Yeah, everyone in this room slept through the earthquake. Toni slept right through. I mean, it was only 3.8 on the Richter scale. I wouldn't say it's a big one, but some people were calling us earlier saying it felt like a car went through their house. So,
yeah, that's got to be an overestimation.
Yeah, sure.
Surely.
Just
I mean, maybe you've never felt a car going through your house, but...
You don't have anything to compare it to.
I wonder at what point on the Richter scale does it go from being funny to being that could have done some damage? Is that a 5?
Yeah.
Is that just straight away? Is it straight away that it could do damage, though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'd say 5. Yeah, 5. Let's go with say 5.
Yeah.
We're shooting from the hip here, guys. We're not qualified at all. Virginia joins us now. What did you sleep through?
Hi, good morning. I actually slept through a tattoo.
Really? Because
it wasn't for long, to be honest. Wasn't for long, but I did officially fall asleep.
I woke up to like that dribble coming out of your mouth.
Oh, yeah. Good sleep.
So you were getting a tattoo. It wasn't like you were asleep and mates came around and tattooed you. You were getting one and fell asleep.
It's consensual.
It was a good 7-hour tattoo. So
okay.
Yeah. And it was on my thigh, so I was laying down.
No,
and
that's
the tattoo
painful.
was
Yeah, pain is obviously a friend. You must be into that stuff. Janice in Bacchus Marsh joins us now. Tell us, what did you
Hi.
sleep through?
Hello, I slept through a police raid.
A police raid?
On your house?
It was the wrong house. It wasn't meant to be our house when I was a kid. And the police came through the front door, banged through
Dad
the
told
front
you.
door, came into my bedroom, bashed into the door, and I got told the next morning that it had all happened.
Whoa.
But Janice, you're saying like it was the wrong house. Surely that would be more alarming. You know, if you've got nefarious things in
I
your
was
home.
about 6 years old, so I was unaware of, what was happening, really.
Yeah,
So
right.
you'd had a warm Milo, you'd been put
I was
right
gonna
down.
say,
Yeah, that's fine,
it does
Janice.
feel
I'll
like
pay that.
you should ask Mum and Dad about that one again, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like if you scratch the surface there, Dad's saying, "Oh, that's someone else's shed of weed." Yeah, no, I don't know who put that there. I don't know why the power bill was so high. Kate, tell us, what did you sleep through?
So it was my husband. He slept through the birth of our first child.
Oh.
By accident or like at the hospital you fell asleep?
No, by accident. So I was getting induced. So they admit you the night before, and then they induced you the next morning. But that night, I actually went into labour. And so he wasn't allowed to be, to be fair, he wasn't allowed to stay in the hospital, and it was not expected that I went into labour. But yeah, he woke up to a whole bunch of missed calls and got there about 5 minutes too late.
That's right.
Oh my God.
You don't want to sleep through that, do you? That's
He was probably thinking it was his last good night's sleep
Yeah,
before the
true.
baby's going to come. So he's like, I'll make some porridge in the morning. I'll have a really good sleep in.
He's just going to soak it all in.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.